Well, I was looking on Twitter today, and I can't believe it's actually been 15 years since ECW One Night Stand 2005 actually aired. The first One Night Stand and the best One Night Stand. I can't believe 15 years ago. That would make me 18 years old. What? Yo. I was just out of high school. Now getting ready to do something with my life. And what did I have but a little ECW reunion for One Night Stand? Let me tell you, at this time, this was crazy. Fans were clamoring for something extreme. The only thing that we had, I think, was WWE. Maybe TNA was doing its thing, but there was no really extreme, hardcore wrestling at the time doing its stuff. So, when One Night Stand came around, we got to relive the glory days that was ECW. If you don't remember, they released the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD, which did mad sales for them. So, they decided that they were going to actually release this pay-per-view. This was actually I think it was Rob Van Dam who was like, yo, we should do this. Turns out Rob Van Dam was injured. He couldn't make it to this. He was actually very upset and said, I'm actually more upset that I'm missing this than I am WrestleMania, which is real hilarious. This was booked by Paul Heyman, and it was cool. There were some people here that were working in other companies that weren't invited or weren't allowed to be a part of it because of stuff. I think like Raven, I don't know if it was this one or the next one, but Raven was not allowed to be here because he was in like TNA, and TNA did not allow him to do this thing, I think is what I read in a shoot interview or saw in a shoot interview. Anyway, 15 years ago this happened, so let's take a look at ECW One Night Stand. This is the highlights of that show, which I say was a good one. Then they did it again the next year. It's all right, but they freaking relaunched ECW. Actually could have worked. But now that I think about it, ECW eventually became NXT, so NXT is basically what ECW was, minus some hardcore wrestling and the originals, New Breed Unleashed. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's watch the highlights for ECW One Night Stand. Disclaimer, there is copyrighted music, so we will not be playing that music. And the Hammerstein Ballroom. If you don't know anything about the Hammerstein Ballroom, iconic ECW, I don't need to tell you about it, but it's cool. It's a cool venue. We had Lance Storm versus Chris Jericho. This is Lionheart Chris Jericho. I think this was Lance Storm's last hurrah. I don't know if he had another match after this. He probably did. I can't remember. But this was literally his last major match. He did a big suplex and a kick to the back of the head. And this just really good. Lance Storm almost ate it there. Again, this made me... Do you remember WCW? Do you remember watching Lance Storm in WCW? How he won all the titles and he was freaking amazing? Lance Storm ruled. I don't know why he didn't get a better shake in WWE. He did a stupid laughing, funny joke gimmick boring, boring. Anyway, back to what we're saying. Lionheart Chris Jericho. Dude, you look at this Chris Jericho right here. Not even the same Chris Jericho that's even in AEW. This is completely 100% different. Oh, there's Red Sea. Oh, the Impact players. Boom. Dropkick by Jericho. Boom. Kendo shot. One of the sickest kendo shots ever there. And they hug it out as Lance Storm's final hurrah. Tajiri versus Little Guido and Super Crazy. This was a triple threat, three-way dance type match here. I think it was three-way dance rules. This was set up just to get Super Crazy to dive, pretty much. As we know, Super Crazy and his dive. Super Crazy is a guy who, again, a lot of these guys, that dive ruled. Oh, Tajiri with the mist. A lot of these guys deserved a better fair shake in WWE, but Tajiri also was cool too. There's Super Crazy, three-way dance rules. Yes, it was. Oh, again, this ruled on so many levels here because these guys just went out there and did their thing. Again, I feel like a lot of these people needed a better shake in WWE. Psychosis, and a lot of people got heat. Oh, put the mask back on. Why'd you take it off? We love that old Psychosis. But Psychosis versus Ray, you could totally see that they still had it in them. Rey Mysterio still getting over here. Rey Mysterio was a cool guy. He was a cool guy. But ECW, Psychosis! Again, I remember loving Psychosis in WCW. But I don't know. 619. I think they booed, if I remember, the 619 just because it was like a WWE move. But whatever. Whatever. Get over yourselves. And now we have Rob Van Dam and Rhino gored him This is where Rob Van Dam pretty much said, I'm more upset at missing this than I am at WrestleMania. And then Rhino and Sabu, I think, have a match, if I could remember. Yeah, dude. Sabu was another guy. I was watching old Sabu videos, shoot videos, and he actually got a tryout in WWE like early on in WWE. You remember the Sultan? Apparently he was going to be the Sultan, and they were going to make him the Sultan. And he was like, no, they just want to use me as a body. They don't want to use me as Sabu. I created my own character, so that was it. Also, Vince was a huge fan of Sabu after they relaunched ECW, but for whatever reason, Sabu didn't want to cut a promo. So Vince was adamant that he cuts a promo. He didn't, and there it was. Benoit and Eddie, I mean, these two can wrestle. They're, you know, like they could close their eyes and have a good match. That's just, like, I don't know what more to say about this crazy thing. Like, literally, two of the greatest wrestlers. You know, forget about the history, you know, what a terrible person Benoit is. I don't want to get into that. That's not what this is about. But as far as wrestling goes, Eddie and Benoit, pretty sweet wrestlers. Mike Awesome and Tanaka. Dude, I don't know why after this, like, this match stole the show for me here. Why did WWE... Dude, if you... Also, Tanaka still wrestles like Tanaka in 2020, so he rules. Why is WWE not hire Mike Awesome or Tanaka? I don't understand. After this match, dude, just book them in WWE and let them run this program. Cool. Mike Awesome ruled, by the way. So did Tanaka. Masato Tanaka, dude, I don't understand. Some of these guys, because they didn't go through the WWE mold, I guess. I don't know. Is that what it was? Because they weren't WWE guys, they never got a fair shake, I guess? I don't know. The Dudley Boys versus Tommy Dreamer. Wait, what was the match here? Dudley Boys and... I don't even remember this match, but we just get some chair swinging freaks here. Oh, there's another dive. Tommy Dreamer goes on. I think it was Dudley's versus Dreamer and Sandman. I don't know. I think that's what the match was. There was like a lot of craziness going on there. Yeah. Oh, swinging it out. Drop toe hold on to that. And the cheese grater. You got to love the cheese grater. Hit him with the chair. Oh, it's his brother. Here comes everybody. Overbooked the main event because why not? Cat fight, cat fight, cat fight. Just overbook it. Who cares? Make it happen. Landstorm's out. DDTs. That's fine. They just wanted the crazy, wild mayhem. 3D. Spike. LSD is coming out. Oh, here we go. Boom. Through the table. And there it is. I think Austin comes out. Yes, he does. They all have a beer bash. And they drink to being happy. This is JBL versus... Didn't JBL just go after Blue Meanie in this? I think I remember that. Whoa. Oh, they just did the 3D to Heyman. What? Everybody's in their finishes on... not on Heyman, on Bischoff. And then they throw him in the garbage. Get out of here, you piece of trash. And there it is. ECW One Night Stand. Wow. That was cool, man. Just reliving some of this stuff. Brings me back to a different time. 18 years old when this was going on. So, you know, look back to where it actually went on. I kind of was at the tail end of ECW as a youth. I didn't really watch ECW as a youth. I was more a WWE, WCW kind of guy, flipping those channels just because of the Monday night stuff. A lot of friends loved ECW, but I wasn't too big into it. But for me to be able to get this and watch this as an 18-year-old, that was pretty cool. I think that's so, like, this is just one of the best. If you have never seen this, go on the WWE Network, watch it. 15 years ago to this day, it actually aired. And again, some of these matches still stand the test of time. You watch that Mike Awesome Masato Tanaka match, bro, they deserve, I don't know why, I don't get it. There's a lot of really great talent that could have made it on the big stage and made a big name. Like, they could have made a huge impact in WWE if they would have been used properly. But I guess the way to look at this, they did this, they did the next one, they did the brand. I mean, not the greatest, but I guess what came out of it was NXT. So this is kind of like a foreshadowing for NXT. Basically what they want to do is create like an alternative, different style of wrestling to WWE's main product, which was ECW. I mean, Paul Heyman had a vision for it. He wanted it to work. Vince didn't care. Vince didn't want that to be a thing. He obviously didn't really like Paul Heyman's direction with it, and he didn't want it to go the way that he did. So he wanted it to be his own thing, and Vince turned it into whatever it was. And then eventually Triple H took over NXT. I wonder if Triple H would have worked with Paul Heyman to make this ECW thing work, if it would have actually worked. I don't know. That's something to think about. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite match out of this ECW One Night Stand. And as always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. We will see you in another video.